is broad and sound, and the wideness of its grasp can be somewhat gauged if we compare what we know today with what was known 150 years ago. But it has been largely based upon a study of the abnormal, and upon the form aspect, this latter being the true scientific method, and is therefore limited and circumscribed when it is put to the test in the last analysis and in the light of the undoubtedly existent supernormal. What I seek to do, and the contribution I seek to make to the subject, have to do with the emphasis we shall lay upon the nature of the integrating principle found within all coherent forms and on that which can, for lack of a better word, be called the soul or self. This principle, which informs the body nature, and expresses its reactions through the emotional and mental states, is of course recognized by many schools of psychology, but remains nevertheless an unknown and undefinable quantity. They find it impossible to discover its origin. They know not what it is, whether or no it is an informing entity, detached and separate from the body nature. They question whether it is an integrated energetic sum total brought into existence through the fusion of the body cells, and therefore, through the process of evolution, constituting a thinking, feeling entity. Or whether it is no more than the aggregated life and consciousness of the cells themselves. The above is a generalization, which will serve our purpose and will cover the general proposition. It will appear, as we study, that the energies which inform the personalities, and which constitute the nature of the human being fall naturally into three groups. 1. Those energies which we call the spirits in men. You note here the utter superficiality of that phrase. It is meaningless and misleading. Spirit is one, but within that essential unity the points of fire, or the divine sparks, can be seen and noted. These unities, within the unity, are colored by and react qualitatively to three types of energy, for it is scientifically true, and a spiritual fact in nature, that God is the three in one and the one in three. The spirit of man came into incarnation along a line of force emanation from one or other of these three streams, which form one stream, emanating from the Most High. 2. These streams of energy differentiate into a major three, yet remain one stream. This is an occult fact worthy of the deepest meditation. In their turn they differentiate into 7 streams which carry into the light, as it is called, the 7 types of souls. It is with these 7 that we shall deal. 3. The energies into which the 3 distribute themselves, thus becoming 7, in their turn produce the 49 types of force which express themselves through all the forms in the 3 worlds and the 4 kingdoms in nature. You have therefore a 3 monadic groups of energies. The essential unity expresses, through these 3, the qualities of will, love and intelligence. B 7 groups of energies, which are the medium through which the 3 major groups express the divine qualities. C 49 groups of forces to which all forms respond and which constitute the body of expression for the 7, who in their turn are reflections of the 3 divine qualities. In some mysterious ways, therefore, the differentiations which manifest in nature are found in the realm of quality and not in the realm of reality. It is with the 7 groups of souls, or soul energies, that we shall deal, and with the threefold forms in the 4th kingdom of nature which they create, and through which they have to express the quality of their ray group and the energy of that one of the 3 essential groups to which their soul ray is related. We shall therefore, if possible, endeavor to add to modern psychology and enrich its content with that esoteric psychology which deals with the soul, or self, the ensouling entity within the form. See, the third effect of the study of these rays should be twofold. Not only shall we understand somewhat the inner side of history, not only shall we gain an idea of the divine qualities emerging from the 3 aspects and determining the forms of expression on the physical plane, but we shall have a practical method of analysis whereby we can arrive at a right understanding of ourselves as ensouling entities, and at a wiser comprehension of our fellowmen. When, through our study, we ascertain for instance that the tendency of our soul ray is that of will or power, but that the ray governing the personality is that of devotion, we can more truly gauge our opportunity, our capacities and our limitations. We can more justly determine our vocation and service, our assets and our debits, our true value and strength. When we can add to that knowledge an analysis which enables us to realize that the physical body is reacting preeminently to the soul ray, whilst the emotional body is under the influence of the personality ray which is historically in manifestation at the time, we are then in a position to gauge our particular problem with judgment. We can then deal more intelligently with ourselves, with our children and with our friends and associates. We shall find ourselves able to cooperate more wisely with the plan, as it is seeking expression at any particular time. It is a platitude to say that the true meaning of psychology is the word of the soul. It is the sound, producing an effect in matter, which a particular ray may make. This is in some ways a difficult way of expressing it, but if it is realized that each of the 7 rays emits its own sound, and in so doing sets in motion those forces which must work in unison with it, the entire question of man's free will, of his eternal destiny and of his power to be self-assertive comes up for solution. These questions we shall seek to answer as we proceed. Some of the points which I may seek to make clear will not be capable of substantiation, and cannot be proved by you. These it would be wise to accept as working hypotheses, in order to understand that whereof I seek to speak. Some of the points I may make you may find yourself capable of checking up in your own life experience, and they will call forth from you a recognition coming from your concrete mind. Or they may produce in you a reaction of the intensest conviction, emanating from your intuitively aware self. In any case, read slowly. Apply the laws of analogy and of correspondence. Study yourself and your brethren. Seek to link what I say to any knowledge you may possess of the modern theories, and remember that the more truly you live as a soul, the more surely you will comprehend that which may be imparted. As you study, you must not forget the basic concept that in all occult work one is occupied with energy units, energy embodied in forms, energy streams in flow. And that these energies are made potent and embody our purpose through the use of thought. They follow along the well-defined thought currents of the group. It must be remembered, however, that it is in this region of thought that the cleavage comes between black and white magic. It is in the use of thought power that the two aspects of magic can be seen functioning, and therefore it is true that there is no black magic, per se, until one reaches the realm of mind. No one can be a black magician until the will and the thought work in unison, until mind control and the creative work of the focused mind can be seen. It has oft been said the black magician is rare, indeed, and that is verily true, because the creative thinker, with power to use the sustained will, is also rare. Let me illustrate. There is need for clear thinking on these matters, for as we study the psychology of the microcosm and arrive at an understanding of his ray impulses and energies, we shall need to see clearly the way we go so that we shall tread the path of selflessness, leading to group awareness, and not the path of individualism, leading eventually and inevitably, as the mind aspect becomes organized, to the left-hand path of black magic. Those strong souls who consciously and knowingly enter into the realms of spiritual force and take thence that which they need and that which they choose, must work with intelligence, so that there may be a subsequent wise distribution of force within a chosen area. Those who know themselves to be in the rank and file of aspirants, but who possess the persistence which will drive them forward to the goal, need to remember that theirs is the responsibility of adding their quota to the sum total, and that this is done every time they think of the group, correspond with the fellow aspirant or meditate. Extend the idea, then, from the student in the group to the group itself, regarding it as a group unit within a larger group. You have there a perfect analogy to the way the great ones work at this time. Regard, therefore, all your work as group work, causing effects which are inevitable, and contributing to the potency of the group thought form. The second thing upon which I seek to touch concerns the testing going on inevitably among the aspirants and disciples at this time. This is not so much a testing of their place upon the path, as of their power to live in the world as citizens of another kingdom, and as the custodians of that which the world as a rule does not recognize. In so far as that testing is applied, and in so far as it can be gauged, I seek to point out that the testing is not applied, as some think, because of their affiliation with any group or because of their one-pointed determination to tread the path. It is applied because the aspirant's own souls so ordained it, prior to incarnation, and it was the will of their souls, that a certain measure of growth, hitherto unknown, should be attained, a certain degree of detachment from form should be achieved, and a certain preparation should be undergone which would lead to a liberation from the form life. The idea that a renewed effort towards the goal of spiritual light is the cause of trouble, or precipitates disaster is not a statement of fact. The extent of the discipline to be undergone by a disciple is settled and known by his soul before he even takes a body. It is determined by law. It is this problem of energy units, and their mutual interplay, which underlies the entire subject of the rays, which we shall seek to investigate. Every group in the world is a nucleus for the focusing and interplay of the 7 types of force, just as every human being is also a meeting place for the 7 types of energy, 2 in the ascendant and 5 less potent. Every group can consequently be a creative center, and produce that which is an expression of the controlling energies, and of the directed thought of the thinkers in the group. From the standpoint of those who see and guide, therefore, every group is constructing something that is relatively tangible and governed by certain building laws. The great work of the builders proceeds steadily. Often that which is built is inchoate, futile and without form or purpose, and of no use to either gods or men. But the race as a whole is now coming into an era wherein the mind is becoming a potent factor. Many are learning to hold the mind steady in the light, and consequently are receptive to ideas hitherto unrecognized. If a group of minds can be so drawn together and fused into an adequate synthesis, and if they, in their individual and daily meditation, keep focused or oriented towards that which can be apprehended, great concepts can be grasped and great ideas intuited. Men can train themselves as a group to think these intuited ideas of the true and the beautiful and of the plan into manifested existence, and thus a creation of beauty, embodying a divine principle, can be built. Ponder on this, seek to fit yourselves for the registering of these ideas, and train yourselves to formulate them into thoughts and to transmit them so that others can apprehend them also. This is the nature of the real work to be done by the new groups, and students today who can grasp this idea have the opportunity to do some of this by